What is going on with the overall quality of modern vehicles lately? For example, Ram, GM, or Ford, including the 2026, 2025, and 2024 models. Some of them just don't even make it to 50 or 100,000 miles without having mechanical problems and major repairs. A person pays $80 or $100,000, for example, for a pickup truck that doesn't even last 100,000. Yes, these trucks now are significantly more fuel efficient. They have advanced technological features, more bells and whistles, unprecedented levels of luxury, and more power. But they have problems almost immediately, basically, from the very moment they start driving, meaning right off the dealership lot. There are just massive lines and months-long backlogs at many dealerships for recalls, for various software updates, for some electronics issues, and so on and so forth. Back in the day, a typical truck had, just a few simple modules and not that many wires at all. But nowadays, when you look at the wiring seriously, there are literally tens of thousands of miles of complex wires tucked into heavy-duty harnesses in a single modern car today. There are about 25 electronic modules in a basic standard truck, even one that is not the most complex trim level. You have an incredible amount of cameras, a massive amount of sensors, and tons of sophisticated systems like adaptive cruise control, electric power steering, and cylinder deactivation. And let's even look at the specific brands. Let's break it down by each brand. Take the Ram brand. Right now, there is just a mass of air suspension issues, various electrical glitches, and a ton of software failures. The complex transmission electronics, then the DEF systems, the DEF emission systems. I won't even go there. That's one of the systems that is known for causing a huge amount of technical trouble, far more than any other system out there. And it doesn't matter how old your truck is, starting from 2 or 3 years in, and it's constantly broken. No matter what you do, no matter how much you fix it, there are always some issues with it. So moving on to Ford, the EcoBoost is a whole other story entirely. There are tons and tons of glitches with the transmission and the electronics. We are seeing huge, just absolutely huge bills on Fords right now when they're being repaired or serviced. They have intentionally made the routine maintenance much more complicated. So a person comes in for something simple they used to do easily on their old car, and they find it's now a major ordeal. For $300 or $400, some small repair. Well, now that same repair is $4,000 or $5,000. He thinks the shop has lost its mind, but in reality, they complicate everything so much, starting with things like putting the starter inside the transmission. Like, to change your starter, you have to pull the transmission, and that's just off the top of my head. There's a ton of other things, especially modules on Fords, by the way, they go bad. I've made some notes for myself here. On GM vehicles, what do we have on GM? We have lifter failure and common transmission complaints. There are a huge amount of electrical bugs, meaning software glitches, just a ton of them. And they have this very expensive electric magnetic suspension system, which also unfortunately brings along a whole bunch of unnecessary trouble. Why is all of this even happening? Because they're focused on building more fuel-efficient cars and other green technology. However, when it comes to fuel efficiency, it's a double-edged sword. As we know, nothing ever comes for free, so they make them lighter, cheaper, and add a whole bunch. Eventually, all of these parts break, and the car ends up, yes, consuming a bit less gasoline, and supposedly pollutes the environment less. This diesel exhaust fluid system and all those emission systems on gas vehicles, and the DEF systems on diesel vehicles, they are supposedly designed to improve things and not harm the natural environment. But in reality, all of these complex electronic wires and sensors are frequently breaking and need constant fix. The shops working on this use lots of energy, electricity, and so on, and things like that. This harms the environment significantly more than those additional gallons of fuel consumed would, which an old diesel or an old gas engine would typically consume and burn through, which was considerably more affordable back then, and required significantly less maintenance than a modern one. Well, to put it quite simply and summarize the situation, people to this day, when buying a truck, like for example a pickup truck, they think they're buying those sturdy and dependable, reliable trucks from 15 or even 20 years back in the past, and they truly hope they'll be able to drive them for a very, very long time. But now, in the world today, many of those old trucks are actually much more reliable than the brand new ones being sold.
I'd like to add one more important note here regarding the complexity of modern cars on the road today. To give you a better idea of what I mean, let's take a look at my own personal case as a perfect example of this, which is a 2018 Ram pickup truck that I have been driving regularly for some time. I originally purchased this vehicle brand new back in 2018, and I proceeded to drive it regularly for a period of about 5 years without any issues. But then, out of nowhere, my electronic key just seemed to vanish.